Alrighty guys, we're back for Azorius Soldiers, and this is a Foundation Standard Brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, this was a suggested revisit from the comments, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. We have a whole bunch of classic soldiers in here, so many in fact, I'm not gonna take the time to go over a lot of them, like a couple Harbin for example. I'm not gonna take the time to read that. We got 4 Valiant Veterans. I'm not going to take the time to read that. We do have 4 Resolute Reinforcements as well. Awesome. And here's one I guess we don't get to see too often. All 4 Dusk Legion Duelists in here. It's a 2-mana 2/2 with Vigilance. Whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put onto Dusk Legion Duelist, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn, and we have a whole bunch of ways to put +1/+1 counters on this, like all 4 Siege Veterans, for example. That'll do the thing. We got 3 Ajani Caller of Pride, 2 with that +1 ability, putting a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Awesome. Also, the -3 ability will really come in handy. Target creature gains flying and double strike until end of turn, so helping us clean up some games. We got 3 Skystrike Officer in here too, so even more cards draw packed in, and more ways to go wide with our soldiers too. Got a couple roaming thrones here on the top end to help double our triggered abilities of our soldiers, and we also have a 1 of Myrel Shield of Argive. When we see this 1 of, it'll totally do the thing. Some removal packed in. We have a couple Sheltered by Ghosts and a Get Lost. Guys, these can be your removal of choice. If you want all 3 Get Lost, for example, drop the Sheltered by Ghosts. Or maybe you want even more removal packed in. Well, technically, we do have a little bit more Requisition Raid, and you guys could drop the Requisition Raid, maybe go up your other pieces of spot removal. Maybe you like Soul Partition, for example. But anyways, Requisition Raid. It's a 1 white mana, sorcery speed, so that does slow it down a little bit. Has a spree cost here. For the spree cost of 1, destroy target artifact. For the spree cost of 1, destroy target enchantment. For the spree cost of 1, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature target player controls. Of course, you're going to target yourself, but pretty neat, man. Yeah, if this was instant speed, that would be disgusting. First of all, I think we'd see this actually popping up from time to time again. But anyways, works well with the Dusk Legion Duelist with the bottom ability. Helps us boost wide when we're going wide with our soldiers. Outside of that, I can think of a lot of enchantments we would not mind popping with this, and some artifacts too. Guys, did I go over my 1-drop soldiers? I don't think I did. Did I? Well, we got 4 Recruitment Officers and a Yotian Frontliner. There we go. All right, over in the mana base, we have all 4 Fortified Beachhead, probably the best land in the deck, right? We have 4 Seachrome Coast too. More fast land with a Wastes. I didn't want too much pain land in here. Got a couple Cavern of Souls as well. Of course, calling cats. No, we're calling soldiers with that. We have a Restless Anchorage too, and a deck list that greatly fears Sunfall. The Restless land should really come in handy. Unfortunately, it comes out tapped, so hopefully that doesn't slow us down too much, right? 1 island, 10 planes, heavily leaning towards the white sources in this one, guys. 23 total mana. There's a lot of 2-drops in here. That means there's going to be a lot of turns where you want to see your 4th mana on turn 4 to play 2 of your 2-drops, right? So I think 23 is right where we want it. Honorable mentions. I have a Fleeting Flight over here. That would have been cool to try out with the Dusk Legion Duelist. The Ballyrush Banneret did not make the cut this time, unfortunately. And I actually thought about a recommission because I think it would be a really neat one with that Dusk Legion Duelist. And our creatures are dying left and right anyways, so I don't know. I think it could have been a little bit neat. All right, guys, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked and see how we do. All right, right into that first game. What am I expecting from the build? It's going to be pretty darn good, guys. But you never know, man. I mean, there's probably a reason that we don't see too much soldiers nowadays. Okay, we go first. This is a terrific hand, right? I'm keeping this. All right, let's get that Recruitment Officer down. Got 23 mana packed in. Should be able to find our 3rd in no time. Okay. Well, they definitely don't mind the trade here at all. I don't think... Yeah, actually, I think it is a Sheltered by Ghosts maybe, right? How do you guys feel about that? Just an early Sheltered by Ghosts on a card that maybe they don't value too much, but what we're valuing here is the Ward 2 now. If we would have saved it, maybe we could have stacked it onto the Harbin. The Ward 2 is super valuable, though, because they can't go cut down, right, until they have their 3rd mana. Deep Cavern Bat. I don't know what they take. Probably Siege Veteran, because they don't want us to start buffing this Recruitment Officer. Because Siege Veteran comes down, we boost the Officer to a 4-2. Then, even when they see their 3rd, cut down can't hit the Officer, thanks to the Ward 2, right? Outside of that, everything's pretty valuable in this hand, so I'm pretty sure it's Veteran, though. Yeah, it was the Siege Veteran. Alright, Recruitment Officer is not terrible. We might want to double down. Maybe it's just the Skystrike Officer for the turn, though. Double down next turn. That way we can start swinging with it and getting soldiers. All right. Yeah, that was definitely the best grab, because that also meant that we couldn't swing into the bat too, and that's very important. There's their 3rd mana. What do you guys suppose? Is that 3 mana cut down that we were talking about? Sure is, dude. Man, that Siege Veteran play would have been so good. Ah, man. All right, I'm very happy that we set up with the Skystrike Officer, though, instead of... Ooh, our other Sheltered by Ghosts is pretty good. That's not bad at all. Take the bat, we get a swing in the air, get the Veteran back. The problem is they'll get the Deep Cavern Bat's ability back, too. I'm going to hold on to this for now, maybe for their Demon on turn 4 or something, right? All right. Start with the swing. It's funny, we only have a couple cards, but actually a lot to think through there. Yeah, they go ahead, take the 2, and let's go ahead, get everything down. We will wait to tap everything until the end of their turn. Yeah, restock our hand a little bit, but we want to wait till the end. That way, if they play another Deep Cavern Bat, we don't give them more options to choose from. Or maybe we want them to have more options, so that way they can't take the Sheltered by Ghost. Or decide not to take the Sheltered by Ghost, I should say. That would still probably be the one to take, though. Oh, Virtue. All right, let's draw. Before the Officer is out. Okay, they're going back up to 17 here. This is going to be a tough match, guys. Definitely going to be a tough match. More mana isn't great, and I guess it gets us one step closer to activating like Beachhead ability or something, but... Okay, Fairy Dream Thief. Actually, I don't really know what we're up against right now, guys. I mean, it's mono black, but... Deep Cavern Bat. Alright, Valiant Veteran, now we're talking. Yeah. Too bad this has Death Touch. Might just swing in the air anyways. Alright, it's going to be the Veteran play. I'm going to still play the land. I'm hoping they don't have Liliana, but when Liliana first comes out, it's going to be -2 anyways, right? So, Death Touch takes out that. We could still slip through an extra 2, though. We should probably full swing and accept this as a trade. How do you guys feel about that? We still had... Yeah. Let's see if they chump then. So this will be 6 total damage. If we held back and waited for more setup, I don't know if that would have been worthwhile. It's a 1 mana card for a 1 mana card, but our 1 mana card was a 3/2 thanks to the Veteran. Is Veteran even going to survive? I don't know, man. They got 2 cards in hand. Ooh, a Gix. Okay. With the Dream Thief and the Death Touch, this might just be a Gix deck list, right? It might have 3 of these. trying to fly in the air, trying to get through in other ways to restock their hand, which they definitely do here. All right, still got 2 open. Could easily be a go for the throat. It is not, though. Right. So if it was mana or like untapped mana, I would immediately go Sheltered by Ghost, grab the bat, get the Siege Veteran down, because that would just be so good. But I think we're just going to let them keep the bat. Pick up the Gix with the Sheltered by Ghost. Everything already has a pretty big target on its back, guys. So we're gonna put it on this soldier over here. If we try to go onto the Harbin and it is a go for the throat, then on the stack they go for the throat on the Harbin, and that's a huge loss. All right, we're gonna pick up the Gix. But since this is an artifact creature, that gets around to go for the throat, so yeah, we'll see what ends up happening here with the full swing. And Valiant Veteran also, of course, has a huge target on his back, too. We get through, guys. We're up to 24. They're down to 7. We're going to play it all out. I can't believe that. I thought spot removal was in the opponent's hand for sure, for one of our cards at least. But we are starting to fizzle out here. The opponent does have the Dream Thief ability. Oh, Obliterator. You know what would be really good? Ajani off the top. Give something double strike and flying. Yeah, we can no longer swing on the ground. Obliterator's way too tough. Oh no, it's tapped land too. We got the Recruitment Officer ability. They don't know what's in hand. We start with the swing. I guess the 5th mana isn't terrible. Again, it's one step closer to activating Beachhead ability. When they kill the Veteran too, then we'll have the 5th mana for the Veteran's ability in the grave. The Valiant Veteran. We have multiple Veterans in the deck list. I should probably call them by their full name, right? Yeah, and for Harbin, with only 4 soldiers on the board right now, it's like they're going to take this, guys. Down to 3. They didn't want us to have our Siege Veteran. Anyways, this is whenever you attack with 5 or more soldiers. We only got 4 on the board, unfortunately. So we're going to try to find that other one with the Recruitment Officer. We're going to wait till the end of their turn again. For similar reasons that I mentioned earlier, cards like Liliana and stuff. But it is, like I said, Liliana is going to go -2 first. Virtue of Persistence. This is our chance, right? Hopefully they don't get too much set up. Yeah, they're going to keep it as a blocker. What we find with the Officer. It's just going to be another Officer. It looks like Roaming Throne was on top too. Cavern. All right, that does mean we have Beachhead. But we don't really need to buff this board state right now. What we really need is to get them into the air. We are forcing a block. We'll have the Siege Veteran as well. Right, so we want to call Soldier. Oh wait, what am I talking about, guys? What am I talking about? We full swing. It's not like that Obliterator can't do anything against a full swing. Guys, for some reason, I was thinking the Obliterator was stopping us completely on the ground, but a full swing was all we needed. We got them down to -3 there. Beautiful stuff. I'm sorry, opponent. I was holding you up too. Just sitting there staring. Like, how do we get around the Obliterator? But it's not like an infinite ground blocker or anything. That's funny, man. Well, first of all, I'm glad I saw that. I was about to hold back the attack. That being said, with the block in the air and the block on the ground, still only getting them to -3 there. Where the Recruitment Officer, so we needed exactly the 4 creatures to swing in, right? To actually get that. And we didn't end up needing the buff. But the buff is nice to have. Alright guys, let's keep the ball rolling and make sure I don't do anything silly like the end of that one again, right? Like overlooking a full swing. There are some moments where you're about to go for the full swing, or, you know, you go for a math is for blockers turn or something, and then it's just devastating. And it's like, oh crap, I really wish I didn't full swing. So I guess I was just being oddly cautious. So cautious it was out of character. All right, we go first. Right? This is good. I like this, yeah. I was trying to think of a reason not to keep it. We don't have too many 1-drops packed in. We got like 5 1-drops. Yeah, majority 2-drops for sure. All right. Opponent, what you bring into the table, buddy? Dusk Legion Duelist curving right into that Siege Veteran. That's something I really wanted to see today too. We've definitely seen it in the past, right? When we've tried Duelist and Soldiers. I'm pretty sure, at least. Here, guys, we'll go ahead and pause the recording until the opponent shows up. All right, the opponent has arrived. Let's go ahead and get our planes down. We won't show them that we have soldiers just yet. Okay, Clockwork Percussionist, nice. Sheltered by Ghosts, that'll come in handy. I hope the Duelist survives, but against Rakdos, It's not like I'm gonna hold it back, and it's not like I'm gonna play Veteran for the turn instead. So let's just hope it survives. Blood Splatter, it does not survive. But that's a card we don't get to see too often, guys. Oh, that's why. Disturbing Mirth. Okay, cool. So do we go for our 3-drop? Yes, but which one? I'm gonna set up with Skystrike Officer. It could very likely just be more removal. I'd love to see mana off the top. I'd like to get 2 soldiers down instead of just 1 soldier a turn here. Fear of Lost Teeth. Sacrifice it, maybe pop the officer with something. Maybe. It is. It's going to be a Torch the Tower. Bargained. So officer gets exiled. Blood Splatter gets another counter. Now what does this do once it has all the counters? Sacrifice it if it has 5 or more. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. Good thing it doesn't say battlefield, but that's still pretty neat. Alright, Resolute Reinforcements is a way to actually get multiple soldiers down on the board at the same time. Could do it at the end of their turn, or we could try to block into the Percussionist too. They get to see a little bit off the top. Let's go with that. Let's go with the reinforcements. They dropped the GGs. That is a very early GG's opponent. Let's see what they got here then. I'm just going to take the one from the Percussionist, as going wide with soldiers is much more valuable than a block into the Percussionist. Yeah, if they got just more removal in hand, it's definitely better to try to go wide than drop a Siege Veteran, because if we are successful in going wide, then getting the Siege Veteran onto that board state is pretty good too. Sheltered by Ghosts. I don't mind seeing both of them, but we definitely need to see our 4th mana here. Let's get that Siege Veteran down. Let's start to buff the main reinforcements, and we'll start to swing as we can catch up to how fast they're going. Maybe they're dropping good game for us because they're flooding out, right? That's their 5th mana. See what ends up happening here, I guess. We're gonna take care of our Siege Veteran, it looks like. It's gonna be a Final Vengeance. Another Blood Splatter, or Blood Spatter analysis. There we go. With Nightmare, we'll go ahead and discard one of the Sheltered by Ghosts. I'm definitely going to be valuing our soldiers more than our removal. Down to 13, Disturbing Mirth. That's pretty darn good, man. Get to restock their hand and scry here. land off the top, right? That would be best thing that could happen for us. And a Hex Mage, too. Holy cow, dude. The opponent's going for it. It's not mana, unfortunately, but that's not going to stop us from having a pretty aggressive turn here. Get the Valiant Veteran down. They do end up chumping. All right, that's the 4th on the Blood Spatter. They're about to get a creature back to their hand. I wonder which one they want to grab. Right? Yeah, they're looking at our Valiant Veteran. I don't think it's going to survive the turn. We're in desperate need of that 4th mana, guys. We really, really need to drop more than 1 creature a turn. This is a perfect match to showcase why I opted for 23 over something like 21 or 22 for an aggro deck list, right? Wow, another swamp from the opponent. Huh. All right, there we go. Call Soldier. I'm very happy to see that. Man, that's been a lot of removal so far from the opponent. My goodness, man. So, right. We could start with something like Sheltered. But we probably just want to keep Resolute Reinforcements as a surprise. We hope that their last card in hand is not removal. Then we have a surprise Resolute Reinforcements for the end of their turn. We'll get everything into the air with 5 soldiers, hopefully, right? Another GG from the opponent. I can't tell. I can't tell who they're saying it for, guys. Rotten Mouth Viper. Cool. We're going to take the 4. Resolve. Lose 4 life down to 9. They do have a swing. Yep. And we go no blocks. We are in big danger, guys. Sheltered by Ghost picks up the Viper. We can't let the Viper swing. We know that much, right? We don't have 6 mana yet for the Beachhead ability. We'll put Sheltered on the Harbin because maximize the life gain. All right. It's a good swing. Down to 1. Up to 12. So close, dude. So close. Come on. The big thing here is if they get the snake back, if they were swinging with the snake, they would have had another counter on it too. So we would have had to do that twice. It's a disturbing mirth. They could easily find some removal here, but the ward 2 on the Harbin should be... Okay, they don't... They want to keep the Fear of Lost Teeth as removal. Chump blocker. Blood Spatter finally popped, so they do get... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. They had a Rotten Mouth in the grave? Oh, crap, dude. Well, this time, we're actually safe, though, because they'd have to lose the Fear of Missing Teeth and the Mirth. They'd go back up to 2. We just take the 4 down to 6, and we still have a full swing. They do go for the Rotten Mouth, though. That is the fun play, for sure. Unless this was, like, removal. That could actually handle the Ward 2 Harbin, too. And then the Manifest Dread, but any blockers on the ground doesn't actually matter. Oh, they actually... Oh, Fear of Lost Teeth does something a little bit different than I thought, guys. So I'll lose the 4 here, but we still have just the Harbin swinging in the air anyways. But anyways, I want to look at that card real quick. Oh, by the way, good game, opponent. Fear of Lost Teeth. So, deals 1 damage to any target and you gain 1 life. For some reason, I thought it was just the opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. That's pretty cool, though. Is able to pop a soldier, too. Yeah, who knows who the opponent was actually dropping the good game for, right? Maybe they've had some experiences with Azorius soldiers in the past and they knew what was coming for them. You know what I mean? They had some great lineups, though. Couple Rotten Mouth Vipers. We weren't afraid, though. Sheltered by Ghosts really coming in handy there, too, with its lifelink ability. And I'm assuming the ward ability as well. They also used so much removal at the beginning that they had to run out eventually, right? I don't know about this hand, guys. It's great that we go first here. But like turn 2 Valiant Veteran, opponent drops removal, right? Then turn 3 Siege Veteran, opponent drops removal. Then we're like really in danger. I'll try it though. The deck list is doing terrific so far. Yeah, it's a swamp. Oh boy. Okay, Yotian Frontliner. That's good at least, but do I really want to play that over the Veteran now? Probably, honestly, guys. I'll play the other planes. I will let them cut down the Frontliner instead. No cut down in hand. Passed right back. Didn't stick at all. Deep Cavern Bat. Crap. Okay, 2 really great grabs here, and they want to tempo out one of the 3 drops, I would assume. Unless they are anticipating us like seeing another 1 drop off the top, then the Valiant Veteran would be pretty good to take too. Gonna be the Ajani. Dusk Legion Duelist. Nice. Alright, but we have a turn to actually get or Siege Veteran onto the board. Yeah, so many veterans in here, huh? Yeah, we take the opportunity for the Siege Veteran, and we hope for mana off the top, guys. I don't know how many matches here we're going to be just hoping for the 4th, but I don't think we want 24 either. I think 23 is right where we want it. And we'll see. We'll see what we see off the top. Or we'll see if it takes us 3 turns to see the 4th, too. They do go for the swing. They don't plan on blocking with the Deep Cavern Bat, is what that tells us. Alright, Phyrexian Arena, guys. We have like a free turn. Wow, it's another Siege Veteran. Requisition Raid can pick up the Arena as well if we want it to. We could do 3 mana. Pick up the Arena. They don't draw. That's actually pretty good, isn't it? Put a +1/+1 counter on both of these. The other Siege Veteran's also really good, though. Yeah, we'll let them have the card draw. Because Siege Veteran, both of these on the board at the same time. Let's get this one, or let's get both of these above cut down, I guess. Yeah, now the bottom abilities work well together, too. If we would have went Requisition Raid... Yeah, they're down to 11. Like, having them have 1 less card, but also Phyrexian Arena is also losing them life, too. So there, we do get to replace the Siege Veteran with the other Siege Veteran ability. Just double go for the Thrones guy. That's pretty good, but yeah, luckily we actually still have more to swing in with here. All right, I think that this might be the turn where we boost our board. I'd love to draw on the Dusk Legion Duelist, but now both Siege Veterans are gone too. Maybe we just boost with Veteran instead. Then they end up killing the Veteran. That's also fine. I hope I'm not making a terrible mistake here, guys, by letting them keep the Phyrexian Arena for so many turns. Down to 4. See, I'm opting for our soldiers over anything else. And that might not be the best thing to do. Oh, they go for the 6/6 demon side of things. They go for the swing. Back up to 5. Fortified Beachhead is pretty good. We have 5 on the board no matter what, though, right? But we can still boost above and beyond. So we can destroy that. We can target us. S3. Yeah, GG opponent. GG. I was going to play it out just in case I'm missing something, right? Like in that first game where I wasn't going to swing into the Obliterator. I wanted to completely play it out, maximize everything on the board. Guys, 100% win rate. Not bad. Not bad so far. Yeah, 3 games in. Anyways, the full swing, then we boost the Veteran. They block the biggest, chunkiest thing, which was the Frontliner. So 7 damage still getting through there. So yes, we did not need the extra +1/+1 counters, where it still would have been 5 slipping through. But yeah. For a second there, I mean, the opponent was giving us a second to play it out too. So yeah, I'd say worthwhile playing out, especially just for good practice too. If the opponent had things untapped, for example, they were tapped out. So, all right, guys, 30 minutes in. While I have you here towards the end of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. And then for the YouTube side of things, if you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing as well. It really does help out the channel. So thank you guys. All right. What do we think about this hand? Actually, I am a little concerned about the mana, right? It's much more like I knew it was going to be mana hungry as far as aggro goes, or current standard aggro, right? But I feel like we're really desperate for mana. Deck list is doing so good. I'm going to try it. I think we'll find the mana easy peasy, but we'll see, won't we? I think our nemesis would be mono white mid-range, and that might be what we're up against here. All right, we'll call Soldier and get the Harbin down. Frontier Seeker is one that we do see from time. Oh, Fortune. Okay, yeah, nice. Is that what they grabbed off of this? Look at the top 5 cards. You can put a Mount or a Plains card. I do think that this is mono white mid-range, but it's a little bit of a neater version than the versions we usually see, so. And decline since we have a Soldier on the board. Let's go Siege Veteran. Harbin has a huge target. If they kill the Harbin, at least we'll replace it with a 1/1. We're hoping they don't plan on wiping the board now that they got the Fortune and everything else on the board too, but they might. They might not value their creatures at all. Especially if they have multiple board wipes in hand too. Beza. Nice. They go back up to 20, which is terrifying. And they drew a card too. I think the Ajani double strike needs to be a surprise, right? We probably opt for the other Siege Veteran. But we know mono white has exile effects too. We do find our 4th as well. Our 4th could mean that the Valiant Veteran can come down successfully. And then Sheltered by Ghosts for the ward. Again, though, if we take any of their creatures, we can't take the Beza. It would be the Fortune, probably. If we take any of them, they're going to be too tempted by a board wipe, right? Give me 1 second, opponent. It'd be better to try the Siege Veteran. Go all in on the Harbin. Then if they spot remove the Harbin, yeah, it could easily be exile spot removal, though. Sheltered by Ghost gives the ward, but then we're not safe from board wipes. All right, guys. All right. Boost the board state. We're hoping that the type of mono white midrange that the opponent is playing isn't the type that has a whole bunch of board wipes. We're going all in onto this Harbin. They're down to 13 here. And we'll see if Ajani can clean it up next turn, right? Double strike onto the Harbin. I'm pretty sure Harbin dies. But Lauren. Oh, Oh, Harbin sticks around. They take care of the Sheltered by Ghosts. So the double strike isn't enough to get us there. Oh, yes, it is, actually. Guys, if this isn't a lay down arms for the Harbin, then the opponent's in danger. Lay down arms is sorcery speed as well. Uh-oh, uh-oh. I wonder if that plains can be anything else here. Yeah, we're going for it. Ajani. Could also, I guess, give double strike flying to something else too. If we don't want all of our eggs into one basket, we could do it onto the Siege Veteran, right? Because we're still flying in the air with Harbin. Let your soul guide your hand. That's 14 damage there too. GG opponent. Cool stuff, man. Really, really cool stuff. So we were trying to gauge what kind of mono white the opponent was actually playing there, and I was a little bit back and forth. Pretty sure it's mono white mid range, but then when they started playing the mount cards and everything, we decided it was the type of deck list that maybe doesn't run too much board wipe, and that just ended up paying off, didn't it? The fact that the Lauren wasn't just straight up removal for the Harbin was excellent too. Yeah, the original plan was to go -3 onto the Harbin, then +1 counter onto the Harbin, 7 power double strike for 14 damage. But then, just in case I overlooked something that this plains could be at instant speed, I decided not to put all my eggs into one basket, which actually ends up being the exact same amount of damage too there. Cool stuff, man. 36 minutes in, 4 matches in a row, all victories. Guys, should we just end on a high note and talk about this deck list a little bit? I think so. Yeah. Also, end of video foundations pack too. See what we got. Consuming Aberration. Let's go. We also did, I think it was also an end of video pack a couple weeks ago at this point, by the time this video goes up. But you guys, that's my 4th one, and you guys do want to see Consuming Aberration. You let me know in the comments, and I'm working on that already. So I guess, hey, now I can play 4 of them in that deck list. Azorius Soldiers. Here it is again, guys. All right. All right. Sheltered by Ghost was good. Yeah. Yeah, the 2 of. Actually, the game made sure we had the Sheltered by Ghosts, huh? I liked the Requisition Raid. It technically didn't really do anything incredibly meaningful today, but it is nice to have. There really are going to be a lot of enchantments that you would not mind popping with this. And if you're not popping artifacts or enchantments, then you're boosting your wide board state, which I do think is going to be really good. Going wide with cards like Skystrike Officer and Reinforcements. And boy, oh boy, do you ever need to have cards like that, because it's just one piece of spot removal after another for most opponents. And even if you're up against aggro, sometimes aggro is just burn. And so they're just burn, 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 burn every single turn, right? So it's tough, man. And when you're just playing one creature every turn, they're just keeping up pace really nicely until they get their top end. And so what we're trying to do with this is we're trying to have an equal amount of powerful top end too. And our top end is a little bit cheaper than their top end usually. So I like this a lot, man. Just Soldier. Every time we revisit Soldiers, we're always just pleasantly surprised by how well they're still performing. And right now I am very pleasantly surprised because we just never get to see Soldiers. When's the last time you guys went up against Soldiers? Let me know in the comments, seriously. Or when's the last time you've seen anyone playing Soldiers outside of this video? Definitely let me know. But we're splashing blue. We're splashing blue for Harbin and Skystrike Officer. Totally worth the splash. It's actually not the only thing we're splashing for. We're also splashing for the Fortified Beachhead ability. If the game does go on too long and you end up getting 5 extra mana with the Beachhead too, so 6 total mana, right? It's not going to be unheard of where you tap all 6 mana, boost your soldier board state, and you're very happy about that, or you're winning the game that turn too. So Fortified Beachhead is also a reason to splash blue in here. Also lets us play like Restless Anchorage too. So yeah, cool. There's our splash. Outside of that, if you drop those and just go mono white, I don't know, man. it's probably going to get weaker. And I do believe that. Like sometimes it's just definitely worth the splash of something. And I think that this was worth the splash. Dusk Legion Duelist, man, we really had trouble. Again, it was just hard to get things onto the board sticking. Like, not too hard, though. We still got those victories. But would have been awesome to actually get the Duelist down and get the Siege Veteran down. One thing that we didn't showcase in those games, like, at all, was the sustainability that I built into this deck list. And I think usually that sustainability is really going to come in handy. But we didn't really need it today, I guess. Kind of, sort of. I guess we had some sustainability. But what I mean by that, of course, is just like actually stocking up our hand to have continuous options as the game goes on. Because in a lot of those, we were starting to fizzle out. Yeah, the bottom ability on Siege Veteran, just generating that soldier when something else dies, is pretty darn good. And what that usually means too is they target the Siege Veteran first. And so if you are plugging all the counters onto another soldier and creating a big threat somewhere else, then it kind of feels bad when they pop a 2/2 instead of your giant Harbin that you've been boosting for a few turns or something, you know what I mean? So they do end up popping the Harbin or something, then you get that a 1/1 soldier back, and just being able to continue to have a wide soldier board state plays into everything else too. Of course, Valiant Veteran was incredible. I liked this, guys, and we don't have too much removal, which is why I said at the beginning, like, your removal of choice for sure. Right, that's it. Get Lost, 2 Shelter by Ghosts, and the Requisition Raids if you want to count those. So all of that, all 5 of those cards, whatever you deem worthy, right? Maybe you want all 4 Get Lost. Then do some rearranging here, right? With these 5 cards. But I really did like the Requisition Raid. But maybe it doesn't need to be a 2 of either. Maybe it could just be a 1 of. When you see it, you're fine. When you don't see it, you're still fine, right? So yeah, I could also see this being a 1 of, maybe going up that second Get Lost too. But also, we're not trying to worry too much about removing the opponent's things so much as we're just trying to play the game out on our own board state, and then just continuously boosting our board state is enough to get around whatever creatures they had set up anyways. That being said too, it's not like the deck list has trample or anything fancy, but we do have evasion with like Ajani's -3 and stuff, I guess. And Harbin's ability too, giving evasion to everything. Didn't actually get to see the top end roaming thrones, but the triggered ability of another creature you control, if the chosen type triggers, it triggers an additional time. Of course, the chosen type is soldier. So what kind of triggered abilities do we have in here? Well, that means like whenever something attacks, whenever something enters, right? Or something along those lines. So when Skystrike Officer attacks, you're generating a soldier. You get the, at the beginning of combat ability here, the +1/+1, but then also the bottom ability for the extra soldiers too. The Dusk Legion Duelist is a, yeah, we would draw 2 cards. Well, wait, how does that work? Guys, send help. All right, so it says this ability triggers only once each turn. This says triggered ability of another creature, chosen type triggers, it triggers an additional time. I'm pretty sure you'd still get the extra card. Like, you put the counter on the Duelist, you draw a card. Even though it says it triggers only once each turn, the roaming throne is an additional time. Yeah, I don't think that bottom effect locks out the additional card draw, but I'm not 100% certain right now, so definitely let me know down in the comments, and if I remember, I'll look that up to make sure. But that's technically not the main reason that the Duelist is in here anyways, or the roaming throne for that matter. I was just trying to go through and see what gets duplicated from the throne, but now I'm not 100% certain on the Duelist. But anyways, ETB effects like Resolute Reinforcements, of course, gets duplicated. So roaming throne working with actually just a lot in here with our soldiers. The Harbin ability is also a triggered ability too, right? Whenever you attack with 5 or more, so that would duplicate as well. That's actually pretty sick. The Myrel ability, whenever Myrel attacks too. Yeah, lots of stuff. Oh, Frontliner too, of course. All right, guys, let me know what you thought down in the comments. Soldier still being really cool. Ajani was a, I feel like an excellent addition in here. I really like the Ajani. There's something to be said about the mana base where you'd be pretty darn unlucky if the mana base holds you up to play your Ajani on turn 3 when you see your 3rd mana. It'd look like that. Or Cavern of Souls, Island, in a Plains, then you can't play Ajani on turn 3. Hopefully you're just playing your other soldiers out of your hand anyways. Or double Cavern of Souls in a Plains or something too, right? I feel like that would be pretty unlucky, right? Because it's only 3 mana that would be holding you up, and they would all have to be at the beginning of the game and just so happen to also have the Ajani in your hand too. So if you are worried about that, you just drop a Cavern of Souls and go up a Plains, I guess. Or maybe you don't like the island, but the problem is if you don't have the island, there are going to be moments where the opponent plays a demolition field style effect and pops your only blue source, and then you really want to go grab the island from the deck list, but you can't because you don't have it in your deck list, right? So that's why the one of island is still in here, even though there's a splash. And I do think that is relatively important, especially when I don't think when we see the one island, it's going to hold us up very often anyways. Outside of that, guys, I guess the dual lands could be your dual lands of choice. I think the main important ones, though, are Fortified Beachhead and the Seachrome Coast, because the early first 3 turns are very, very essential. And then the rest can be whatever the heck you want at that point. All right, guys, enough rambling, huh? If you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.